Hi everyone, it's FinanceFeeds. We are at the iFX Expo International in sunny Limassol, Cyprus. I'm joined now by Quinn Perrott, who's co-CEO at Traction. Quinn, thanks for taking the time to join me today.
You're welcome, it's a pleasure.
So Quinn, I wanted to start out by saying congratulations on the Outstanding Regulatory Reporting Solution Award that you recently won from our publication.
Thank you.
I think we could all agree that the award highlights your technological prowess and innovation at your company. Could you elaborate on some of the key aspects that set Traction apart from the competitors in the regtech sector?
Yeah, so look, regtech's a great sector. We've got some pretty good competitors, but there's a couple of things that Traction do that's unique. So the first thing is we try and automate everything, right? We think the source of errors is Excel and people.
Okay.
And if we can eliminate that in trade reporting, then we can eliminate those errors. So we look to extract data directly from trading platforms like MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, CTrader, directly from our clients' databases. So that's really a key area where we can have that automatic integration with the trading platform, extracting that data. The second thing is if clients are sending us a file, then we work with the client's native file format. So we don't say, here's our Traction file spec, you have to put these fields in this order, in this format. We say, how can you get your raw data? And then we program for each client to translate that raw data. So we want zero human manipulation from either side. Everything's done up front, in code, so that when they're live and reporting daily, it's all happening automatically, right? Everything's being planned through and worked through.
Sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think we could agree that cost effectiveness is also, it's very crucial for businesses, including in our space. Can you explain how the cost of Traction services compare to the expenses clients might incur if they were to basically take on trade reporting themselves in-house?
So one of the things that Traction's able to do to really provide things at a great cost to our customers is we provide multiple services directly to our clients, right? So we're not just guiding them or advising them on their trades and what's trade reportable. We're not just a software company that does the translation and gets the data into the right format. And we're not just a trade reporting avenue, we're all three. So when a client signs up with Traction, we'll help them analyze what's reportable, we'll translate it into the format, and they'll report it through us, through delegated reporting. So they don't need an account directly with a trade repository or ARM. So by having a master account, we get wholesale rates on that trade reporting, which means we're able to do that full service for about the same cost as a client would just get the trade reporting going direct. So it's a very powerful proposition where we use our power in the market to essentially benefit our client, where they get a whole suite of products for the price of what they might pay for one of those pieces.
I'm wondering, I'm sure you have customers or prospective clients who've come to you for solutions after they've already tried going the in-house route, right? Could you tell us, like, for those types of customers, what is their biggest pain point when they try to do this themselves?
So their biggest pain point is uncertainty, right? Because no matter how well resourced you are, and there are some huge brokers, we see ones around here that might have 1,000 staff. They have a huge compliance department, they have the resources, but alone, you can't work out how to do trade reporting, right? The regulations, they're very broad, and they work with a lot of different industries. So one of the magical things about using Traction is we have over 150 direct clients and over 700 firms we report for globally. And we actually learn as much from our clients individually as they learn from us. But we put that together, right? We also belong to trade associations like the Retail Derivatives Forum, ISDA, the Alternative Investment and Managers Association. And we bring together all that information, intelligence we get from individual firms, and we share that across our network. So you're not just outsourcing your trade reporting, you're becoming part of a network. That no matter how much you throw at it as a loan company, you'll really struggle with, hey, reading this law, it could be this way or that way. Well, at least at Traction, you can ask us and we say, like, the consensus is this, or the trade association we belong to, this is their view. Well, all of our other clients have done it like this. Well, someone else has directly spoken to the FCA about the issue, and they got told we'd prefer you do it like this. So that's one of the extra services you get using a company like Traction that you don't get and you would struggle with doing it yourself as an island.
Yeah, makes total sense. So Traction has a global presence with offices in key financial hubs, one of them being Cyprus, obviously. How does your company's international reach and local expertise contribute to your competitive advantage in providing regulatory reporting solutions, in key regions?
Yeah, so we believe that Traction is really, as a global trade reporting company, we're really set apart. So we don't just have branch offices in other countries. We originally started in Australia in 2015. My business partner, Sophie, lives there, hands-on runs the Australian office. I live here in Cyprus. I moved here in 2017, and I run Cyprus and UK, and we run it together. But because we have like key management staff, the key people in Europe and in Australia, it's not like one of them becomes the branch office that gets left behind. They're both equal divisions to us. Things can get done in all time zones. We have Singapore, we have Australia, we have staff in India and Malaysia and Cyprus and in London. And it really is a 24-hour business. So I think by having key management staff both in Europe and in Asia Pac, that's what really sets us apart.
I wanted to ask you, can you further explain how Traction simplifies the reporting process, like specifically handles complex onboarding work with TR and ARM, as they call it?
Yeah.
TR ARM.
Yeah.
And sort of maybe if you could touch upon maybe a little bit of the sort of constructive guidance that you also provide clients besides the reporting side of the business?
Yeah, so one of the great things about Traction is a lot of our clients would have reporting obligations, not just in multiple jurisdictions, but perhaps in one jurisdiction for multiple regimes. So a common one would be a CFD firm who trades an index CFD, a FTSE CFD. So that's probably going to be reportable under EMEA as a derivative, an OTC derivative, but it may also have an underlying that's traded on a trading venue, which will make it MiFIR reportable. So one of the great things about Traction is we can get one set of data from our client, one line from MetaTrader or their own back office system, and then report to a trade repository, the TR for EMEA, and the ARM authorized reporting mechanism for MiFID II from that one source of data. So it makes it very easy for a client. They send up one set of data, we split it, two different regimes.
Great, awesome. I guess my last question is, which regulatory challenges do you think are currently affecting broker-dealers, and which ones have the biggest impact and why? Yeah,
so broadly, we have major changes to EMEA coming next year, first in Europe in April.
Again?
Yeah. So EMEA refit, it's not a new regulation, but it's a change. So some of the challenges, there's some data challenges around a new file format, being XML. But one of the key changes we really see is around the unique transaction identifier. And there are some clearer rules, which is great.
Okay.
But we're also seeing that as a signal that it's going to be really strict that everyone applies those new rules. And that we're seeing liquidity providers and their clients, the takers who may be a retail broker, if they're not already, they really need to look at a strategy about how they use the same UTI and how they get that same UTI. And some of the approaches that Eastman gives guidance is on, they're great for smaller firms that perhaps have one or two liquidity providers that can communicate easily with them at end of day.
Yeah.
I think some of the biggest challenges is for firms that are doing 1 million trades a day and have 20 liquidity providers, making sure that they have instantaneous, accurate UTI synchronization and instantaneously after the deal.
Yeah.
So they don't have to be dealing with 20 counterparties at the end of the day, getting all that data together. So we really see that as one of the key challenges, as well as rolling out XML. For some international brokers, they'll be going live. That's for their SISEC or Malta or Bank of Ireland operations. Then 6 months later in the UK, and then MAS and Australia shortly after that. So that could be a real struggle with resources as well. On the flip side, it could be beneficial that they learn in Europe and apply that. By the time they get to Australia and Singapore, they could be very good at it. So it's a very big year ahead for Traction and its clients and the industry in general.
Well, it sounds very exciting, and Quinn, we wish you the best of luck as we wind down 2023 and the next year. I hope to see you at another industry event soon. Best of luck to Traction. Thanks for joining us.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.